Hey guys, Michael here. So I decided to do something new today with our diving videos. We're at Blue Grotto. This is take 2 for Julie and I, and so I'm going to comment as I take you through the dive. So it was an overcasty day. We decided that we were going to try to do something different than what we did the last time, which was really stay in this big ballroom area. You can see here at the bottom, once we get settled, we're at about 30 feet, and our dive guide places us here for him to be able to come over and give us lights. And you can see that while I have my GoPro on a new wrist strap, by the way, on my right hand. When I know that he's going to give me a hand wrap for the light, I switch over. And so this is me. I'm switched. We're ready to go. And really, now we're following a line. This is not a cave line. This is simply a line to get back underneath the overhead area into the cavern. We go down this first dive at about 65 feet, and it's not complete darkness. That's just the GoPro, but it is very limited visibility. You can see Julie's new fins, bright orange, not a problem there. We're almost at 40 feet. I was checking my dive computer, which is my Ultra Watch. Now, the Apple Watch has an app that has a dive computer on it. Today was the first day I tried it. Worked magnificently. It even built in safety stops for me along the way. Now, I want you to notice that what ends up happening around here as we're getting back into the cave, we're at about 60, is that it looks like it's upside down. That's because of where the GoPro actually is on me right now, because I didn't have it on my wrist. And as we're moving around, there are placements of animals at different feet levels. So that was Julie touching the turtle there, and we're getting to the back of the cavern where it does turn into a cave. And there's something that's going to happen right here in just a second. It's kind of funny. You see the sign down here? The sign tells you do not enter unless you are properly trained, because you're losing all light moving forward and death could occur. What you see and what you hear right here is I dropped the GoPro. Have no idea where it is, and that is our dive guide right there. Skip ahead. Jeff. Jeff actually went back down. We did not try to recover it. We surfaced, took a break, and I said, I lost the GoPro. And Jeff said, well, where do you think you lost it? And I said, that's somewhere between the turtle and the sign to get back in the cave. And so what we did was circle around. We actually didn't go any further than that cave sign. He hopped back down, grabbed the GoPro, and he said, well, I took it to 90 feet just to give the viewers a little bit more of a show. So this is him doing a swim through right now at 90 feet, and you can pop again right back out. You make a turn and you come to the surface. But he said, I'll take a few minutes and look, there's a jump line here for those of you who are cave certified to get back toward the entrance. And like I said, he's just circling. He's going to come back up to where we are, deliver the GoPro, and then we actually got ready to make a second dive. But you can see back in here, there is no light, which is why we have multiple lights on us. And again, slowly making his way up the rocks. You'll be able to follow this right back up to the entrance to that ballroom again. It's really beautiful in here. There's not a ton of wildlife, but the formations are really neat. It is sand on the bottom, so silting out, you can see a little bit of that at the edges of the flashlight, is possible. So we have to be very careful with our fins and our trim and buoyancy today. So again, Jeff's just slowly moving so he can get some video footage very nicely for Julie and I. But you can see how grainy it can get. There's a lot of students that train here. There's some old driftwood. And today was not a crowded day, thankfully. But when new students come down, they tend to silt up the water. Visibility on the first dive was a lot different than it was today. Today was a much better experience altogether, and the visibility was pretty great. So here we go. We're back up almost out from the overhead environment. You can see light coming in from above. He's probably somewhere around 40 feet at this area, because again, you see that platform. The platform is somewhere between 30 and 32 feet, and then he's just making his way to the top. Had no idea that he was going to film once he found it. And right here in just a second, there's a little bluegill on our left. He's going to pan the camera up, and Julie's going to be waving down at him. Now again, this is not the GoPro. That color change is simply because of how overcast it was today, and we've got storms in the area now. So that color changed on its own. This is not the machine doing that. He's going to flip the camera up right here. There's Julie. You may not be able to see her too well, but she's waving at Jeff as he brings our GoPro back up. Now, we go to this next clip, and we're starting our second descent. So we did 2 dives. Total downtime, I think, was only about 45 minutes. We're doing rules of 3. So again, right there you see, I think we're at 27, making our way down. One more time back around the edge of the cavern, circling back around. And Jeff said, well, let me show you this air bell first. And so the rule of thirds, we had to calculate, and we only had 900 psi to work through this time because of how much air I used in the first tank. So we're just kind of checking out the air bell and the roof here. It's beautiful, beautiful. The crystals there on that roof. So we're just looking. The air bell was closed today, but he wanted to take us to it and show us. Again, about 35 feet down. A little further now, we got to 52 feet on this second dive. We did go a little bit of a different way, if you will. We didn't see any more of those statues, but we were checking out the rock this time. So you can see there's just a couple of short clips doing that. And then again, the rope, not a climbing rope, so not a cave diving rope. So you can grab onto it if need be. We made our turn, and again, we're just kind of making our way back up because we have to do our safety stop second time. And this app was really neat, again, that I was using for a dive computer today. There's Jeff telling us, let's go up a little further. We actually circled back around till we hit about 15 feet and did a second safety stop. But the Oceanic app, once I hit 19 feet, it actually buzzed on my arm and automatically started the countdown timer. You can pause it as well if you decide to go back down, and then it will calculate your surface time and tell you when you are safe to fly again. Bluegill, you can see off in the distance. That's about the only fish that we saw today. But what are neat about the bluegill, they are so used to being fed, and they know that the bubbles mean a person is around. They will come and swarm you when you are stable, stopped, because they think they're going to get fed. And they actually sell turtle food and fish food in the office there. This is me. I'm just showing you here trying to get trim, trying to practice buoyancy. And again, with our new fins, that's of course something that we're trying to get used to. Jules a little bit flutter kicking, but we're just messing around, and we're slowly making our way up, ticking down the time for our safety stop rather than just being stable on one of the lines to head to the surface. So I'm checking my watch because it's telling me it's counting down. It buzzes every 10 seconds to let me know that it's continuing to calculate. And like I said, had never used it before now, today on full scuba mode, but it was pretty great. And then I think this may be close to the last clip. More bluegill. I decided to kind of turn around and go back down to where Julie was. And again, our guide, Julie's onto the line. I don't really like the GoPro in this position. I guess I didn't say this before, but we decided what we were going to do was actually keep it on the hand that had the light and place it behind it. Not really a fan. I had to use the flashlight to see, obviously, and in doing so, it made the GoPro footage a little unstable. So I think I'm going to stick to the setup that I had before, but it was something new to try. Julie over here trying to play with the fish. She's trying to climb the line, and I think Jeff's just over here laughing at both of us. But you could see the bluegill just kind of swarm you once you get to a stopping point. And then there's the surface. We're at about 12 feet down. See, I don't even realize I'm shining that into her eyes. And yeah, that was it. It was a great dive.